here's in the case, plate pizzicato.
Come one, come all, New World Supernova here, and today, definitely doing something a little bit different. Gonna be going through the Supernova ships from One Piece, and doing a tier maker for them, a tier list for them. So going from S to D tier, as to whether or not the ship would be useful in a naval combat, without specifically the devil fruit of the users for the captains of the ships. So pretty much in an all-around situation, who's got the better ship, who's going to be able to do more out at sea and stuff like that. So a little bit different, but hopefully you guys will enjoy. So the first ship that I'm going to put anywhere, I think, is we've got the Thousand Sunny here. Now, obviously, we've spent the most time with the Thousand Sunny out of all these other ships. I think the most clear and concise thing... Oh, I'll move that a bit closer. The most clear and concise thing about the Thousand Sunny is that even though it runs off cola and something that is normally very strictly Frankie based, a big thing about the Thousand Sunny is it is probably one of the more versatile ships out in the world. Doesn't rely on a user's devil fruit just to operate. It's pretty straightforward for everyone to use, and the more skilled people are at their craft while being a seafarer or a seaman, it's definitely one of the ships that you can say confidently it's built to last. It's simple to use. People like Jinbei are able to just instinctively get a hold of it and do their sort of thing with it. So I think that's the first one we're going to rank today, and definitely put that at S class, because I think out of all the ships, it's definitely the most well balanced, at least off the top of my head. The next ship we've got is the Stay Tuned from the On-Air Pirate. So this is Apu's ship. Now, I've got a bit of a close-up here of the ship so I can see it. It's a little bit harder to see on the tier list, but it is what it is. Pretty much, he's just got giant subwoofers on the front of the ship and a huge megaphone going off the bow of the ship. Not very practical. Like, in all honesty, it's an alright looking ship. It doesn't look like it'll sink. I don't know how it'd go getting water in the speakers, but alright, it is what it is. That said, it does look like a ship that doesn't really have much firepower around it, outside of Apu's speaker on the front, which should be able to use his ability to significantly ridiculous effect. I guess realistically that's how you get the name the Sea Roar, when you're literally able to sail around on a ship that with a giant subwoofer and speaker on it, be able to destroy or blow up ships from God knows how far away. Again, small ship, doesn't really look like it's the most useful out at sea. I'm thinking I'm going to put this in a C or a B. I'm going to put it in a C for now. Again, it's not the worst ship in the world. It's just definitely, it's not a standout, by all means. The next one we've got is the Jewelry Margarita. So this is Bonnie's ship. And as we found out, this is actually previously one of Big Mum's ships that Bonnie has stolen and redesigned to her own kind of vessel. Again, it probably has more, I don't even want to say well-roundedness. Honestly, it's about the same as a Apu's ship, except doesn't have the subwoofer. There's no cannons on it, so it wouldn't really be useful in a naval combat situation. The Tart ships were all sort of very mediocre as well. They're not exactly the world's best seafaring ships. So, look, I'm sorry to say, Bonnie, but you haven't shown much in the series, and neither is your ship, so that's going to be that's going to be a D tier. unfortunately. No cannons. It doesn't have any special features like a Pooh's ship. Unfortunately, that sort of is what it is. Next up, we've got Capone's ship, the Nostra Castello, and we've actually seen a fair bit of this ship, and it's actually pretty impressive. Like realistically, it's been able to sail around, go through boiling water, although the ship has been destroyed. In terms of when it was still around, it was an amphibious ship. It could go in sea or land, so I would probably... I'm going to make the argument, and it's also loaded up with cannons, so I'm going to say this is at least an A tier. Like, realistically, it's very versatile, able to hold its own at sea. It survived for a significantly long time. The only downside I'd really say is probably the weight of the ship, having castle on it, but then it doesn't sort of relate to logic. And so the next ship we have, I think, is the Red Flag? No, sorry, the Liberal Hind. Or Liberal Hind. I think it's Liberal Hind. And this is Drake's ship, and this is just a repurposed marine ship. In all honesty, it's probably one of the better ships out there. It is loaded with cannons for sea-to-sea combat, so it would be very useful. It's also got a sleek design, so that the bow of the ship, or bow of the ship, it's not a girthy front end, so seems like it'd be a reasonably fast sailing ship. And it being a marine ship, you'd have to make the assumption that the metal across the bottom of it isn't actually just metal, it's probably sea stone. So I wouldn't be surprised if this ship's got the capabilities of actually going into the calm belt, which would be very interesting. So in terms of Drake's ship, I dare say it's probably an A tier as well, up there with the Nostra Castello. Again, it decent at sea, lots of cannons, so you're not going to be easily overwhelmed like Bonnie or Pooh's ships without the captain. Potential sea stone underneath, so it's very versatile, just like Capone's ship, being able to actually go on land. So it is what it is. And next we have one of my favourite designs for a ship, even though it seems so stupid to have, the Grudge Dwarf. Now this is a Pooh's ship, and it is made seemingly of straw. Whether that's just aesthetically or actually made of straw, different stories. But yeah, look, if you ignore the fact that it's potentially made of straw and say, look, it's just a decent sea-travelling ship, I must say this ship's actually pretty decent. This might be our first B tier here, actually. It does have cannons only in the direction of the bow of the ship, but in terms of the ship itself, the fact that it has something to defend itself at sea without the captain is actually something that half of these ships seemingly lack, unfortunately. So yeah, this ship's definitely going to go to our B tier list. And the next one up, we have the Victoria Punk. Now this is definitely my favourite design for a ship, I think, outside of the Thousand Sunny and whatnot. And this is a kid's ship. Now, I'll have to look a bit closer here. Okay. So, although the design is amazing, the unfortunate thing is about this ship is it has cannons, but they're only rear-facing cannons. The bow of the ship is a seemingly megalodon or a sea king skull that's just been hollowed out and used. But there's seemingly no cannons for the front end of the ship, only the rear, leading me to suspect that when the mouth of the Sea King opens or closes, which we've got instruction here saying it can, I dare say that Kid probably stands at the front and attacks with his metal and uses his repel and attract sort of things. So, unfortunately, although it's cool and really suited to Kid's design itself, outside of Kid, it's probably only a B tier ship. It has some defensive capabilities. It's almost the exact opposite of the Grudge Dwarf, but it at least has something. It's not going to just leave the crew completely defenseless without their captain. So that's always a real big boost and bonus to me in this situation. And the last one we have is Rouge's ship. Now this ship's called, and I know I'm definitely going to pronounce this wrong, the Hanjo Maru. And so it's actually, I think, supposed to be the biggest ship from memory out of all these Supernova ships. It does have cannons facing around the side of the ship. It is a lot bigger, sort of more like the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, the Maria something. I'm forgetting the name of it, but it's the ship that what's his name? Having a full mind blank there on him. It's been a while since I've read the end of Dressrosa, but it is what it is. So yeah, look, this ship has at least some form of defensive mechanisms. In fact, it's probably got the better form out of a lot of ships. Although it doesn't seemingly have anything facing the bow or the rear of the ship, it is made for vertical combat. So it does have that classic cannons coming off the side, so it's easily defendable, much like Drake's ship. The difference being in Drake's ship, he's at least got the forward-facing cannons. I'm a little tossed. This ship, it would probably be the bottom of A, maybe the very top of B. It is at least more reasonable than Kid, or the Victoria Punk, and the Grudge Dwarf. But, oh yeah, I dare say put it at the B. That would be the divider for this. But yeah, so that's my current viewpoint on how the Supernova ships would fare in a sea battle. At least just in terms of objectively, as a naval vessel, being able to, float around in combat and whatnot, that sort of stuff. So, that being said, if you guys have any disagreements, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. And if you want to make your own Supernova ship tier list, I'll add the link to the tier maker in the description down below. And hit me up on Twitter and show me where you think that I've undervalued or overvalued one of the ships for the Supernova. And yeah, without further ado, have a damn beautiful day, and until next time, I'll see ya.